Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. This is your Akazaki Yahoo, and I start this broadcast as I start any broadcast by giving all praise, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah, Bahashem, Yahushua, Hamashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say Shalom, Wabarukim, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait until the day that the Most High brings us back together, and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High power, under one covenant. Praise you, Yah.
Hallelujah.
I'm joined this afternoon by my most esteemed Maka Kenaniah. Shabbat Shalom, Maki.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Maki. Shabbat Shalom, Yasharal. All praises and glory to the Abba for granting us yet another set apart day. Hallelujah.
Praise Yah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Also joined by the Aka Thomas. Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Maki.
Shalom, shalom, shalom to all my brothers, all my brothers
All
in
praises. Your volume
Israel.
is a little bit low there, Aka Thomas there.
What'd you say? Shalom, what you say?
All right. No worries. No worries. All praises. So, yes, indeed. So we are back again. We're going to pick up this afternoon with the book of Numbers, chapter number 16, and we'll go 16 through 19, Abba willing, and for the edification of the people, all those who are listening to this broadcast or will listen in the future. And let's get right to it. All right. All right, so we are at Numbers chapter number 16, starting with verse number 1. This is Korah's rebellion. All right, says, oh, by the way, kind of recap, last night we read through uh, the children of Israel murmuring against the Most High and the punishment that was suffered for that murmuring. Also, the the instruction for a sacrifice that would be made in the land as they began to go into the land or made preparation to go into the land. And we also found out that that generation was going to be cut off and that they would dwell in the wilderness for 40 years to get rid of the non-believers, and that Joshua and um, Caleb would be the ones to go
Mm-hmm.
into the land because they had that right ruach.
Come.
And the ones who came back with a evil report, Abba judged them. They were slain with the sword
Mm-hmm.
of the Canaanites and the
Amalekites.
Amalekites. So,
Mm-hmm.
hallelujah, all praises. So now we're at Korah's rebellion, and let's see what happens in this situation. Chapter 16, verse number 1. It says, now Korah is the son of Ishai, Ishai, the son of Kotha, the son of Levi, and Dunthan, or uh,
Yeah,
Dathan,
Dathan. Dathan.
Dathan,
Come.
okay, Dathan, Con. Dathan and uh,
Abiram.
Abiram,
Mm-hmm.
Abiram, Con, Todaraki, the son of Elab, Elab, and On, the son of Pethel, Peleth,
Yeah, P left.
Peleth, Peleth. I don't know where I got a T from, Pethel, Peleth, okay, Peleth, son of Reuben, took men.
Just real quick right
Oh,
there.
go ahead.
So Korah is the son of Ishar.
Hmm.
Ishar had a brother whose name was Amram. Amram had two sons and one daughter named Aharon, Moshe, and Miriam.
Hmm.
So Korah is the first cousin of Moshe.
Okay, Moshe and Aaron and Miriam as well.
Khan.
Okay. Yeah, I saw when it went down here, uh, because it went right back to remember when we first was reading this, the son of Kohath,
Yeah, Kohath. Uh-huh.
Kohath, and I was calling him Kor because the names look kind of similar there,
Mm-hmm.
and you corrected me on that, and didn't realize this was the grandfather of
Mm-hmm.
Kor, but yeah, he was in that same line. So
Now
uh,
what's Korah? What's that mean?
oh, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at Kor here, and yeah, he was lifted up one Korath, bold.
Mm-hmm. Or bald.
Oh, bald. Oh, slick guy. I put an O for the A. I do that all the time. I do that all the time. So, ironically, uh, third generation of Esau, and that's strange to see there
Mm-hmm.
that he had the same name. So while he's out here doing this, Esau is well, he's already been, this third generation. So we're well beyond the third generation.
Okay.
So this was happening before then. So um, yeah, bald. So I guess he was probably like me, with forehead bald.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. All right. Verse number 2. All right. And they rose up before Moshe with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. So I always like to get clarification here because when I first saw this, when I first heard this, you see this word princess, you think of a female heir of, or not heir, but a female daughter of a king when you see that princess. But that's supposed to be prince, like multiplied, like
Right. Con.
yeah, that's what that is. But it's easy to confuse the two, especially if you're not, you know, familiar with this old English. So I'd like to get clarity on that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but these were now mind you that this particular fella right here, telling you exactly who he was and who he came through. He rose up before Moshe. Moshe is the man of the Most High, and took certain of the children of Israel, 250, not just regular people, but these were the princes. Hold on, we got somebody joining. Here's our clip. Shabbat Shalom, Maki.
Goodbye, shalom, fam. How y'all?
Hey, blessed abundantly, man. Appreciate you calling in, brother.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We
That's all.
uh, we at chapter 16, and we at verse number. We're finishing up verse number 2, about to move to verse number 3 here. In numbers, by the way.
Number 16.
Numbers chapter 16. We're at verse number 2, about to move to verse number 3 here. So yeah, he took 250, not just regular people, but these are the princes, the princes. I hate to say it. I hate that out of that because it's so it's kind of deceptive, but
Right. But
that's the
if it was females, it would have called them princesses.
princesses.
Uh-huh.
Okay, okay. It kind of says that though without it being
Yeah.
multiple. It's
Yeah.
kind of like princes,
Uh-huh.
you know, because a princess is a princess, is a female, heir of a king, or not heir, but you know, daughter of a king. Um, this is prince, like multiple male heirs of the king. So yeah, it's if you say it, princesses, 250 princesses.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you're saying 250 females. You know what I'm saying? But it's princess, prince, multiple males. So okay, not to harp on that. But of the assembly, these were famous in the congregation and men of renown. So he didn't go get the run of the mill of the nation. He got the higher ups,
Mm-hmm.
people who the ones that people look to and say, oh yeah, them the ones who I'm the ones who command leadership or who we give leadership to.
Indeed.
Okay. All right, verse number 3. It says, and they gathered themselves together against Moshe and against Aharon, and said unto them, you take too much upon you. See, all the congregation are set apart, every one of them, and Yahuwah is among them. Wherefore, then lift you up yourself above the congregation of Yahuwah. You see
You
what's
know,
happening? Go ahead.
if yesterday, when we were reading about the people murmuring, and you had
Mm,
mentioned that, you know, in future time, when we're
mm,
gathered together, it's gonna be we're gonna see similar situations of people murmuring,
mhm.
people wanting to be in control, and you had mentioned check your ruach.
Right.
Uh Cora needs to check, and these princes need to check their ruachs,
Hmm.
because they've witnessed what has happened to people who have been murmuring before.
Right. And they go about it like nothing's happened, like they don't have any recollection of what we just read about these people being put to death. You know, it's remarkable. I mean, it's unreasonable. It's just I don't know. I don't understand how what kind of ruach come on you to get you to go against. I mean, not only that, we just read, was it last week or the week before, uh, where Miriam was, what I'm saying, turned leopard, turned
Mm-hmm.
lepers for speaking against Moshe. The Most High called them out in front of everybody,
It come.
and when he disappeared, boom. So here they go. I mean, this is
You know,
verse. Go ahead.
time and time again, we
Mm,
when we see acts like this taking place with our people, now and then, we use the words stiff necked.
Con.
Now, when we think of stiff necked, we think of being stubborn. But
Yep.
I believe we can add some definitions to that word stiff necked. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Ignorance. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Foolish.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. And this is what we're dealing with. This is what they was dealing with uh, at this time. And I can't for the life of me understand this. Maybe hindsight is 2020, but I don't know what they thought was going to happen in this situation.
Right.
This is the man that go onto the mount and has communed with the Most High. He came down. His face was glowing, so you was afraid of him.
Mm-hmm.
He had to put a veil over his face because you was afraid of him. Now you gonna come against him talking about you take too much on yourself. We all are because the Most High is with us. But who he talking to day in
Right.
and day out? Who he dealing with face to face, almost hand to hand?
Who did
I
he
mean,
choose? Who did he choose to lead you out of
exactly,
Mizraim?
exactly, exactly. Who is that Savior he raised up?
Mm-hmm.
And then you think about it. Fast forward, what happened with Hamashiach? Same exact situation. Hamashiach came to the earth, did all these miracles, all these wonderful things, healed all these people, and what happened? The
The
scribes and the
Pharisees,
Pharisees
the
came, right?
Pharisees murmured and
Hmm.
complained and accused.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. So we tend to be a people who refuse to learn, and we got to stop that. We got to stop that because this last time is going to be the last time. So
Uh,
I don't plan to be on the Korah side. I plan to be on Moshe's side on the
mm-hmm.
side of the Hamashiach. So verse number 4. Now watch Moshe here. And when Moshe heard it, he fell upon his face, and he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow Yahuwah will show who are his and who is set apart, and he will cause him to come near unto him, even him who he have chosen will he cause to come near unto him. This do, take you censers, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before Yahuwah tomorrow, And it shall be that the man whom Yahuwah do choose, he shall be set apart. You take too much on you, you son of Levi, you sons of Levi. And Moshe said unto Korah, hear, I pray you, you sons of Levi, seeing it be a small thing unto you, that the Most High of Israel shall separate you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near himself to do service to the tabernacle of Yahuwah, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them.
So,
Yeah.
Moshe is breaking down,
Hmm.
because what we're seeing right now is what we read in the headline, rebellion.
Right.
They are rebelling against the task that the Most High has given them already.
Right.
He's told the Kohathites what it is that they're supposed to be doing.
Kind.
And
And
I want to say it was they moved the rods and the curtains, and that was their responsibility.
hmm
It was
Right.
it was heavy work. You know what I mean? But it was work, and it was what they had been told to do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And they just lifted up. They puffed up, and they coming against they coming against Yahuwah is what they're
Mm-hmm.
doing. They're coming against the
Indeed.
power, but because they see it working in the man, they feel like they're coming against the man, but the man represents the power, and so uh, they literally are coming against his face. And watch what happened. Watch what happened here. Verse 10. It says, "And he have brought you near to him, and all your brethren, the sons of Levi, with you, to seek you the priesthood also. For which cause brought you and all the company are gathered together against Yahuwah. And what is Aharon that you murmur against him?" Like y'all not coming against us. You think you see us and we his vessel doing the work, but you're not coming against us. You're coming against him. He gonna be the one to smite you on the face, across your face, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 12. And Moshe sent to call uh, Datha and uh, Abiram, the son of Eliba, which said, "Will we not come up?" I mean, who is the one going up to the mount? And come on, man, this don't even make this is unsensible. I mean, I don't know what they're thinking about, honestly. Verse 13. Is it a small thing that you have brought us out of the land which floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in this wilderness, except you make yourself altogether a prince over us? I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. You see what they just did?
Yeah.
They comparing now. They comparing now Mizraim with the land that the Most High promised us. You brought us out of a land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in this wilderness. Like the Most High promised you a land flowing with milk and honey. He promised it to your fathers,
Right.
and yet you go. This is just unsensible. I'm sorry. Verse 14. Moreover, you have not brought us into the land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards, while you put out the eyes of those men. We will not come up. Now they in full rebellion here. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're not following what you're saying no more. We're not doing that. We're finna do our own thing. What chapter 15 or chapter 14 they was talking about. Uh, let's go back to Egypt. Like let's just go back to Egypt and to captivity.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so the Mizrahites can kill us because Abba killed the king and the army. So the remaining people, we go back there and they're not gonna be like, oh, no sweat, don't worry about it. They're gonna kill you. You done killed their leadership. Well, not you have, but your power done killed their leadership. What you think they're gonna do to you? And
Right.
Abba not with you. Verse 15. And Moshe was very wroth and said unto Yahuwah, respect not you their offering. He giving the sound like he giving the he said it was very wroth. He
Mm-hmm.
said, respect not you their offering. I have not taken one donkey from them, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moshe said unto Korah, be you and all your company before Yahuwah, you and they, and Aharon tomorrow, and take every man his censer, and put censers in them, silica, and put incense in them, and bring you before Yahuwah, every man his censer, 250 censers. You also, and Aharon, each one of you his censer. And they took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moshe and Aharon. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the esteem of Yahuwah appeared unto all the congregation. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe and unto Aharon, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. You done it now.
Mm-hmm.
You asked for it, and now you about to get it, because this is just completely unsensible. I don't know what in the world they was thinking about, what they thought Abba was gonna do, but you done witness Abba slay the firstborn of Mizraim. He done slayed the armies of Mizraim, and the king uh, came into the wilderness, and I mean, you done distressed the Amalekites, but with the edge of the sword, when Moshe lifted up his arms and was able to defeat them, and yet, what are you doing? You steady coming against the Most High. You steady tempting him. You steady wanting him to prove himself, and every time he'd move, your rear end hurt, and you don't learn anything.
Indeed,
It don't make sense.
hard headed.
Yeah, hard hit. Yeah, I'm really surprised that wasn't written in here. Hard hit, because that would be the perfect depiction in these situations. Verse 22. It says, and they fell upon their faces and said, O Most High, the power of the spirit of all flesh, shall one man sin, and with you be wroth with all the congregation. Man, y'all should have been had y'all mind right. Soon as he say, I'm about to take y'all out, now y'all ready to beg. Stop begging after the fact. Start begging before the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Start pleading your case before you do something stupid. If I do this, Abba is going to kill me. I can't do this because Abba will kill me. Like I said last night, same situation you had with your father. If I do this, my daddy gonna kill me. I can't do that. My daddy will kill me if I do that.
You come,
You
come.
know, that's how you gotta be with Abba in these situations. I'm gonna raise up against the leader that Abba has chose. Abba will kill you for doing that. You out your mind. Verse 23. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moshe rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed them. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch no thing of theirs, lest you be consumed with all their sins. All right, getting down to the nitty gritty, verse 27. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Duntan, and Abiram on every side, and Duntan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of the tent, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children. And Moshe said, Hereby you shall know that Yahuwah has sent me to do these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. If these men die a common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then Yahuwah have not sent me. But if Yahuwah make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that pertain unto them, and they go down quickly into the pit, then you shall understand that these men have provoked Yahuwah. Verse 31. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground cave asunder, and that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that pertained unto Korah, and all their goods. They and all that pertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that was graphic. That was yeah, yeah. So uh, I mean they they asked for it. Really, they
Indeed.
begged for it.
Yeah, indeed. Uh, you know, and it says that all that pertaineth unto them.
Oh, that
So
and if you notice, Moshe said, "Don't touch anything of theirs."
right, right. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. Like
Hmm.
imagine somebody from the congregation
Yeah.
perhaps borrowing somebody's shofar
Yeah.
for a day or something like that.
Right.
And
Huh.
and that perishes also, and that's in your
Yeah.
possession.
Yeah. And you go, it's going down. You going with it.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Something that simple. Whew. Yes, indeed. Verse 34. My goodness. And all of Israel that were round about them flee at the cry, fled at the cry of them. And they said, Lest the earth swallow us up also. I mean, now, I saw a story on this. Not this scripture here, but Uh, this happens kind of not often, but it happens in Florida.
Uh-huh.
Uh, very much so.
Sinkholes,
Where,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was a man. His whole house, uh, went down, and he was in his room, and his brother was able to get out, and he couldn't. He disappeared. I mean, no body, no blood,
Yeah.
just
Two
gone.
yeah, 2 weeks ago, in Florida,
Hmm.
this man was in the pool. Like actually they were having a pool party,
Mm.
and a sinkhole opened up in his pool,
Wow,
and he didn't make it out. You just
wow,
see him being taken down and all the water flowing down, and his friends struggling to get out of the pool, out of the sinkhole.
wow, wow. I mean, that is a dramatic sight. To see a person just disappear and you'll never see them, like I said, no blood, no body, you just gone. I wouldn't be in Florida. I'm sorry. I would not be in Florida. Apparently, you don't want to be in the wilderness either because, like these people say, at least the earth swallow us up also.
Hmm.
I mean, you just gone. Like, you just, that's it. He done.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing to fall into the hands of the Most High.
Oh, yeah, hallelujah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Whew. But like I said, they asked for it. They basically begged for it.
God.
Verse 35. And there came out a fire from Yahuwah and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. Mm. I can't even just breast ask that. It says, and there came out a fire from Yahuwah and consumed the 250 men. So he showed up with these princes, and Moshe told him, "Yeah, go and get your incense. Go and get your censer and put incense there on.
Right.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
offer it.
we respect persons. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like, well, we know not to
not
because our,
supposed to.
our
Yeah,
Father doesn't, but the
right,
Most High doesn't. You know, in
mm,
in the congregation's eyes, these were men of renown. You
right,
know, but
right.
to the Most High, they're just fuel for fire.
Exactly, exactly. And this is what happened with Abram with Aaron's sons.
Uh-huh.
Um, they offered that strange fire, and what happened? Out of Shammai, and he slew them. Uh, that fire came down and consumed them. Same thing with these men. They put them in that same position. Woof, they're gone. So my goodness, this is yeah. Verse 36. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto uh, Eleazar, son of Aharon, the priest, that he take up the censer out of the burning, and scatter you the fire yonder, and for they are hollowed, the censers and the sinners against their own souls. Slicka, did I read that right? The censers of these sinners, mm, the censers of these sinners against their own soul. Let them make them broad plates for covering of the altar, for they offered them for Yahuwah before they were hollowed, before they are hollowed, and they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel. So this is what caused them to get consumed there. Is they were coming to basically make that offering, but they were not set apart. They were not hollowed,
Right.
and wow. So it's almost like they got played. Honestly, like, all right, well, go ahead and do this and see what happened to your behind. One of those, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like knock the stick off, like one of them type of things. Well, if you this or that, knock the stick off your shoulder and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So verse 39, and Eleazar the priest took the basin censer wherewith uh, they were burnt. Salika. Let me start that again. And Eleazar the priest took the basin censer wherewith they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger which is not of the seed of Aharon to offer to offer incense before Yahuwah, that he be not as Korah and his company, as Yahuwah said to him by the hand of Moshe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Murmuring and plague. Verse 41. But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured. Good grief.
And you
I mean,
can't be
come on,
serious.
man. I mean, come on, man. This is I'm thinking that they finna address what just happened, and my goodness gracious, my goodness gracious. So seeing these men swallowed by the earth, and then these men consumed by fire meant nothing to you. You still gone. I mean, come on, man. This is unreal. I'm sorry. This is. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm saying this is this. These people. These definitely are people.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. Verse 41. I'm sorry. Salika, let me get back focused here. This is hard to read. This is really hard to read. Verse 41. But on tomorrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moshe and against Aaron, saying, "You have killed the people of Yahuwah." Oh my goodness.
Right. Right.
Verse 42. And it came to pass that the congregation was gathered against Moshe and against Aaron. And they looked towards the tabernacle of the congregation, and behold, the cloud covered it, and the esteem of Yahuwah appeared. And Moshe and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, Get you up from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell on their faces. Come on, man. I mean, how many times you got to do the same stupid stuff? I mean, this is ridiculous.
Indeed,
This is, oh my goodness. Verse 46. And Moshe said unto Aaron, Take a censer and put fire thereon, therein from the altar, from off the altar, and put the censer and go quickly unto the congregation and make an atonement for them. For there is wrath gone out from Yahuwah, and a plague is begun. And Aaron took as Moshe commanded, and ran into the midst of the congregation, and behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put an incense, and he put on incense, and made an atonement for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Now they that died in the plague were 14,700, besides them that died in the matter of Korah. And Aharon returned to Moshe into the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed. So 14,700 people had to lose their life because they refused to learn.
well, if you include, well, yeah, those
Plus,
people, yeah, those
plus
people
the,
died because of that. But when you include Korah in that rebellion,
mhm,
that's 15,000 people, a little bit over 15,000 people in
yeah,
24-hour span. You
right.
know,
For being knuckleheads.
right?
I mean, for being a stiff necked, hard head, unreasonable, not paying attention. I mean, just refuse to learn. I mean, come on, man. And the sad part is, I see these people every day. I see these people day in and day out. They on
Uh,
Clubhouse talking, they on Facebook talking. They just as lost in the sauce. Don't have a clue what's going on. Open their mouth before they open their heart, and
Con.
they just, man, man. Like I said, this is a hard read here. Oh, all right. Aaron, Aaron's rod buds. Verse number 1. Let me see how many. Let's see how many verses we got here. Oh, this is a short chapter, 13 verses. Okay. All right. Aaron rod's bud. This is ooh. All right, verse 1. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and take every one of them a rod according to the house of their fathers, and all the princes according to the house of their fathers, 12 rods. Write the name of Slikah. write you every man's name upon his rod, and you shall write Aaron's name upon the rod of Levi, and one rod shall be for the head of the house of their fathers. And you shall lay them upon the tabernacle of the congregation before the testimony, where I will meet you, where I will meet with you. And it shall come to pass that the man's rod whom I shall choose will blossom, and I will make it cease from me mourning, Salikah, and I will make a cease from me the mourning of the children of Israel, whereby they murmured against you. And Moshe spake unto the children of Israel, and every one of their princes that Salikah, and every one of their princes gave him a rod apiece, and each prince one, according to their father's house, even 12 rods, and the rod of Aharon was among their rods. And Moshe laid up the rod before Yahuwah in the tabernacle of witnesses. And it came to pass that on the morrow Moshe went into the tabernacle of witnesses, and behold, the rod of Aharon from the house of Levi was budded, and brought forth buds and blooms, and bloom blossoms, and yielded almonds. Wow. So it not only budded, it bloomed blossoms and yielded almonds.
Mm.
So overnight, a rod which had been separated with no root went from being a staff in a man's hand to being
A
to
fruitful plant.
con with no root, with no soil. I mean, who else could do that but Abba?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Verse 9. And Moshe brought out of the Salikah, and Moshe brought all the rods from before Yahuwah unto the children of Israel, and they looked, and every man his rod. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, bring Aharon's rod again before the testimony, to be kept for a token against the rebellion, against the rebels. And you shall quit, and you shall quit take any their murmuring. I'm reading that wrong. And you shall quit take away their murmuring from me, that they die not. And Moshe did so, and Yahuwah commanded him, so did he. As Yahuwah commanded him, so did he. Sorry about the stumbling these words, y'all. I don't know what my eyes doing right now. Verse 12. And the children of Israel spake unto Moshe, saying, behold, we die, we perish, we all perish. Whosoever cometh anything near unto the tabernacle of Yahuwah shall die. Shall we be consumed with dying? Yeah, that's the way you need to be thinking.
Right.
Get your mind right.
Reverence. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
reverence.
yeah, get your mind right, because guess what? Yeah, you will die, because I will kill you and keep on about his day, keep on about
Hmm.
his business. Never think you are so expendable, or you're not expendable to him, because he'll raise up stones in your place.
Hmm.
Chapter 18, duties of Levi, of the Levites, duty of Levites. So go ahead and pick this one up for me, Yak, if you will.
Con.
Torah.
This is the book of Bamidbar, Numbers, chapter 18. And Yahweh said unto Aharon, thou and thy sons and thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary, and thou and thy sons with thee shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood. and thy brethren also of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of thy father, bring thou with thee, that they may be joined unto thee, and minister unto thee. But thou and thy sons with thee shall minister before the tabernacle of witness. And they shall keep thy charge, and the charge of all the tabernacle. Only they shall not come nigh the vessels of the sanctuary and the altar, that neither they nor ye also die. Verse 4.
Okay.
And they shall be joined unto thee, and keep thee charge of the tabernacle of the congregation, for all the service of the tabernacle, and the stranger shall not come nigh unto you. And ye shall keep the charge of the sanctuary, and the charge of the altar, that there be no wrath any more upon the children of Israel. So, this the Abba is giving directions again.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
You want
indeed.
to keep your life,
Right.
follow these instructions.
Exactly. Exactly. That's been the key the whole time. If you just follow, if we just shut our mouth, if they shut their mouth, shut our mouth. Let me put myself in there. If we just shut our mouth and follow his instruction, everybody would still be. They'd have been in the land by now.
Yeah, come.
But they chose to yap 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 all that extra talking and get slapped across the face and wonder why.
Mm-hmm. Come.
Yeah.
Verse 6. And I, behold, I have taken your brethren, the Levites, from among the children of Israel. To you they are given as a gift for Yahweh, to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Therefore, thou and thy sons with thee shall keep your priest's office for everything of the altar and within the veil, and ye shall serve. I have given your priest's office unto you as a service of gift, and the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death.
Mhm.
The priest's portion, verse 8. And Yahweh spake unto Aharon, behold, I also have given thee the charge of mine heave offerings of all the hallowed things of the children of Israel. Unto thee have I given them by reason of the anointing, and to thy sons by an ordinance forever. This shall be thine of the most set apart things, reserved from the fire, every oblation of theirs, every meat offering of theirs, and every sin offering of theirs, and every trespass offering of theirs, which they shall render unto me, shall be most set apart for thee and for thy sons. In the most set apart place shalt thou eat it. Every male shall eat it. It shall be set apart unto thee. And in this thine the heave offering of their gift, with all the wave offerings of the children of Israel, I have given unto thee. Salakia, I have given them unto thee, and to thy sons, and to thy daughters with thee, by statute forever. Every one that is clean in thy house shall eat of it. All the best of the oil, and all the best of the wine, and of the wheat, the first fruits of them, which they shall offer unto Yahweh, them have I given thee. And whatsoever is first ripe in the land, which they shall bring unto Yahweh, shall be thine. Every one that is clean in thine house shall eat of it. Everything devoted in Israel shall be thine. Everything that openeth the matrix in all flesh, which they bring unto Yahweh, whether it be of men or beasts, shall be thine. Nevertheless, the firstborn of man shalt thou surely redeem, and the firstling of unclean beasts shalt thou redeem. Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I've read this before, but I read over that before.
Firstling
So
of every unclean beast
yeah, come.
shall be redeemed. So remember when he said, you remember when he told us before, the first of a donkey you shall redeem with, was it an ox or
Was I thought it might have been a ram,
a ram? Okay, yeah,
a he ram, a he ram.
I remember reading that. I can't remember the very details, But yeah, you would redeem it. If you don't redeem it, you have to break his neck.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't redeem it, if you don't give it over, then you got to kill it because you can't sacrifice it. So you got to get rid of it. So either you're gonna trade a clean animal for it, or you got to get rid of that first one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Come. Verse 16. And those that are to be redeemed from a month old shalt thou redeem, according to thine estimation, for the money of 5 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, which is 20 gerahs. But the firstling of a cow, or the firstling of a sheep, or the firstlings of a goat, thou shalt not redeem. They are set apart. Thou shalt sprinkle their blood upon the altar, and shalt burn their fat for an offering made by fire, for a sweet savor unto Yahweh. And the flesh of them shall be thine, as the wave breast, and as the right shoulder are thine. All the heave offerings of the set apart things which the children of Israel offer unto Yahweh have I given thee, and thy sons and thy daughters with thee by a statute forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before Yahweh unto thee, and to thy seed with thee. And Yahweh spake unto Aharon, thou shalt have no inheritance in their land, neither shalt thou have any part among them. I am thy part and thine inheritance among the children of Israel. And behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tenth in Israel for an inheritance, for their service which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. So, that's speaking about the tithe, the 10%.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Neither must the children of Israel henceforth come nigh the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bear sin and die. But the Levites shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they shall bear their iniquity. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they have no inheritance. But the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer as a heave offering unto Yahweh, I have given to the Levites to inherit. Therefore I have said unto them, among the children of Israel they shall have no inheritance. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithes which I have given you from them for your inheritance, then ye shall offer up a heave offering of it for Yahweh, even a 10th part of the tithe. And this your heave offering shall be reckoned unto you, as though it were the corn of the threshing floor, and as the fullness of the winepress. Thus ye shall wave an offering, Salakia. Verse 28. Thus ye also shall offer an heave offering unto Yahweh of all your tithes, which ye receive of the children of Israel, and ye shall give thereof Yahweh's heave offering to Aharon the priest. So we our ancestors gave the Levites a 10th of their possession, and the Levites gave a 10th of that for a weave and a wave and a heave offering into the Most High.
Right, and that went through Aaron. That went to the actual priest.
Yeah,
so that was their portion. That was really insightful for him to set that up that way.
Yeah, come.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Verse
29.
29.
Okay.
Out of all your gifts, ye shall offer every heave offering of Yahweh, of all the best thereof, even the hollow part thereof out of it. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, when ye have heaved the best thereof from it, then it shall be counted unto the Levites as the increase of the threshing floor, and as the increase of the winepress. And ye shall eat it in every place, ye and your household, for it is your reward for your service in the tabernacle of the congregation. And ye shall bear no sin by reason of it, when ye have heaved from it the best of it. neither shall ye pollute the holy things of the children of Israel, lest ye die.
Tola Rabah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
One more chapter here. Uh, that was just more of the structure there. So that was pretty interesting. This is chapter 19, the ordinance of the red heifer. Uh, and I remember seeing the red heifer, but I can't recall what this is about. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Khan. This is the book of Bemidbar, Numbers, chapter 19. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe and unto Aharon, saying, This is the ordinance of the law which Yahweh hath commanded, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring thee a red heifer without spot, wherein is no blemish, and upon which never came yoke. And ye shall give her unto Eleazar the priest, that he may bring her forth without the camp, and one shall slay her before his face. And Eleazar the priest shall take of her blood with his finger and sprinkle of her blood directly before the tabernacle of the congregation 7 times. And one shall burn the heifer in his sight, her skin and her flesh and her blood with her dung shall he burn. And the priest shall take cedar wood and hyssop and scarlet and cast it into the midst of the burning of the heifer. Then the priest shall wash his clothes, and he shall bathe his flesh in water, and afterward he shall come into the camp, and the priest shall be unclean until the even. And he that burneth her shall wash his clothes in water, and bathe his flesh in water, and shall be unclean until the even. And if a man that is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer, and lay them up without the camp in a clean place, and it shall be kept for the congregation of the children of Israel for a water of separation. It is a purification for sin.
Mm.
And he that gathereth the ashes of the heifer shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. And it shall be unto the children of Israel, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among them, for a statute forever. He that toucheth the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days, and he shall purify himself with it on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he shall be clean. But if he purify not himself the 3rd day, then the 7th day he shall not be clean. Whosoever toucheth the dead body of any man that is dead, and purifieth not himself, defileth the tabernacle of Yahweh, and that soul shall be cut off from Israel, because of the water of separation was not sprinkled upon him. He shall be unclean. His uncleanness is yet upon him. This is the law when a man dieth in a tent. All that come into the tent, and all that is in the tent, shall be unclean 7 days. And every open vessel which hath no covering bound upon it is unclean. And whosoever toucheth one that is slain by the sword in the open fields, or a dead body, or a bone of a man, or a grave, shall be unclean 7 days. And for an unclean person, they shall take of the ashes of the burnt heifer of purification for sin, and running water there, Salakia, and running water shall be put thereto in a vessel. And a clean person shall take hyssop and dip it in the water, and sprinkle it upon the tent, and upon all the vessels, and upon the persons that were there, and upon him that touched the bone, or one slain, or one dead, or a grave. And the person, Salakia, verse 19, and the clean person shall sprinkle upon the unclean on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, and on the 7th day, and on the 7th day he shall purify himself, and wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and shall be clean at even. But the man that shall be unclean, and shall not purify himself, that soul shall be cut off from among the congregation, because he hath defiled the sanctuary of Yahweh. The water of separation hath not been sprinkled upon him. He is unclean, and it shall be a perpetual statute unto them, that he that sprinkleth the water of separation shall wash his clothes, and he that toucheth the water of separation shall be unclean until even. And whatsoever the unclean person toucheth shall be unclean, and the soul that toucheth it shall be unclean until even.
My goodness. So that was quite a lot of good information to edify the Mishpachah, the family. And my aunt dropped out. I'm sure he'll be right back here. A lot of good information for the edification of the people. We covered four very interesting chapters with a lot of highly pertinent information. And um, yes, indeed. So we went. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, it was my fault. I was
Oh,
trying to minimize my screen, and when I did it,
Okay.
I took myself all the way out.
Okay. No sweat. No sweat. Con. Okay. But yeah, a lot of good information in those chapters. A lot of very good read, and we at 1 hour and 1 minute. So we went through those chapters pretty smooth. So all praises to the Father. Uh, keep it right at an hour, and so yeah, let's go ahead with final thoughts. We'll go ahead and start with Ark Thomas. Um, Ark Thomas, just give us your final thoughts on these chapters that we read. Anything that stood out to you, or that you gathered from it. You on mute, by the way.
Yeah, he might be having some technical
Yeah, it
issues
might be.
again.
Okay. Go ahead, Ark, if you don't mind.
Con. Uh, we know that these things are written for our learning.
Con.
It's not by coincidence that you know that this was placed into these scriptures. It's
Hmm.
for us to learn, from these examples. I'm speaking about the murmuring. I'm speaking about the not playing our roles that are
Hmm.
given to us. Uh, it's just it's it makes us just shake our head at what we're reading.
Right.
Uh, and it's I don't really know what to think of it though, because Korah was definitely off.
Mm-hmm.
But Samuel actually comes from the line of Korah.
Does it?
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, Samuel is a descendant of Korah. Uh, so
Was it Korath or Korah?
uh, he was descendant of Korah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought his whole house went down with him.
Well, uh, if you check out First Chronicles, actually, let's go there real quick. We can
Okay. Yeah.
First Chronicles chapter 6.
Sons of Levi. Korath.
Yeah.
Kohath. Um, on down.
So I'm scrolling all the way down to where does it talk about Kohath? Okay. So
18?
verse 22.
22. Okay.
It says the sons of Kohath, Aminadab, his son, Korah, his son, Asir, his son, Elkanah, his son, and Abiasaph, his son, and Asir, his son, Tahath, his son, Uriel, his son, Uzziah, his son, and Shaul, his son, and the sons of Elkanah, Amasa, Ahamath. As for Elkanah, the sons of Elkanah, Zophah, his son, and Nathan his son, Eliab his son, and Yoraham his son, Elkanah his son, and the sons of Samuel. So
Mm-hmm.
so Samuel is in this line,
In that
and
same line, yeah.
yeah, if you go to First Samuel, let's go to First Samuel chapter 1,
Okay.
and just remembering that from there we remember we read Yoraham, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So in this first verse in Samuel, now
Mm-hmm.
there was a certain man of Ramoth Amzaphim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Yoraham, the
Mm-hmm.
son of Elihu, the son of Tahu, the son of Zuph, an Ephraite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it I've heard other brothers say that this man was from the tribe of Ephraim, but
Mm-hmm.
what we have to remember that each clan of the tribes of Levi was spread throughout all 12 tribes.
Kind.
So this was a Levite that just lived in the land of Ephraim.
Mm-hmm. Kind.
And and just remember that name, Yoraham.
Mm-hmm.
Uh this was Elkanah's father. So this is talking about the same Elkanah,
Right.
Elkanah being the father of Samuel.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. All
And
praises.
we'll get to that place like at some point, but
Yeah.
uh
Kind. Kind. Yeah, I look so forward to getting to this the historical portion. I mean, this is historical as well, but to really get into the history of the building of the nation and on into the Kings and the Chronicles and even Samuel, uh, into these books that basically relays that history, that rich history that we had. Again, not saying that the Torah is not giving us rich history; it is, but um, there's a progression. Right now, we're reading about them in the wilderness,
mhm.
and pretty soon they'll be going into the land. And once they go into the land, that's when we'll really start to see the flourishing of this nation, of this people,
Come.
and the punishment of this people even more so. So, um, good stuff. All right. Is that all you had?
Yeah, that's it,
Okay.
man.
All
All
praise.
praises to the Abba for us
Hallelujah.
to be able to get into this word yet again.
Hallelujah. Yes, indeed. Thomas, are you still with us? Okay. Okay. No sweat. We'll go ahead and conclude here. Uh, so, we read these 4 chapters. Started off with murmuring, continue with murmuring to a place to where Abba basically just shut everybody out of the tabernacle. So
Hmm.
now only the priests, not even the Levites, but the priests can only deal with the tabernacle. Uh, the sons of Aharon, and I really like how he utilized. He had it for the stick of Levi, how he put for the staff of Levi for
Right.
the rod of Levi, he had him put um, Aaron's name on there.
Hmm.
And so he stood for Levi, and then he showed him, which I believe this was definitely a sign of Hamashiach being the high priest, even though he didn't come from Levi, he came from Judah, Yahuda. Um, this was definitely a sign pointing to him and how the importance of the Messiah was emphasized above the tribes. Much of the same situation there where you see all 12 tribes represented, and yet uh, Aharon through um, Levi is that one. That was the one that the Most High chose to deal with at that level. Um, as we'll continue reading, we'll see that will become uh, Yehuda or Wyaonde to be that particular tribe, uh, even through Hamashiach. Uh, to be that leadership. The Most High could have sent the Messiah through anybody, but he chose to send him through Yehuda. So all praises to the Father for another great lesson, another great read, and a lot of great information. And I really do. I don't say this lightly. I really do pray. I really do hope. I really do uh, uh, implore anybody who will watch this lesson, who read these chapters, who read these books and these chapters, and find out what happened in this situation, that you learn from it, and that you do, in fact, get your spirit right,
Hmm.
and don't fall into these situations that these people fell into. These our people fell into, and that we don't suffer the fate that they suffered, and go down into the earth, or are consumed by fire, or doing anything that you should not be doing. When the Most High establishes the leadership, follow the leadership. As long as it's not going against Torah, follow the leadership.
Hmm.
So I pray that everybody is learning from this and is edified in this, and that like Shaul said, my prayer for Israel is that we all may be saved. So with that, I give all praise, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah, Bahashem, Yahushua Hamashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say shalom wa baruchim, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait till the day that the Most High brings us back together and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High power, under one covenant. Until that day, shalom, family.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom,
shalom.
family.
Shabbat shalom. Yes, indeed.